What?
Hi guys. So we're on here. We're a little bit early.
We're on here?
We're on here. We're live.
Hey, look who that is. Oh, that's me.
So we'll wait for folks to come in.
But I'm here.
You're here. Yes, you're here. Okay.
Yeah. If you're here, you're here.
If you're here, you're here.
I gotta get close to you
so
they can see me.
Yeah, that's the notification that we're live.
Oh yeah. Good.
Notification gone out that we're live. Maybe
hey guys, in case you didn't know, we're live.
While we're waiting on folks to come in, I'm gonna start working on next week. I'll let you guys know ahead of time that we'll be live. And
we are an hour earlier than we were last
week. We are. It says we got 2 people in here. I know Gary and I are here. That's 2 people.
Yeah, there's Kansas.
Oh, hi, Marcia. And yeah. That's Gary's phone.
You think it's a notification on my phone?
No, it's not a notification on your phone.
Let's see. Is it a notification?
It's some kind of notification.
Oh. Ricky's feeding animals.
Ricky's feeding animals. Cool, Ricky. So, all right. Marcia, how's things going up here? When did we hit 1,000? We did not hit 1,000 unless we've hit it recently and didn't know it. But we can go live on our computer. So yeah, we're still around 800, Marcia. But we can go live on our computer and through some friends encouraging us. Six Acre Farm and Rescue. Hi guys. Yeah, cool. New subscribers. Thanks for coming to our this is our second live ever, so I'm still learning. Still got lots to do to learn. Starting to get notifications of you guys' comments.
Yep.
And I know it's the Big Bowl Sunday, but we are not sports fans.
We discussed whether that bowl had cereal, chili, soup, beans.
It has to have soup or something.
Yeah, soup or something.
Bowl. Whether it's soup or beans or chili, we don't know what is in that bowl, but anyway.
And the guys are going to chase that pumpkin all over that cow pasture.
You got a bull, Mr. Domino. Cool, Marcia. Cool.
That's a bunch of bull.
Oh. But yeah, so we're just on tonight. It's snowy and cold here in Kansas. Marcia, how's it up your way? I know you're north of us, Marsh.
We just had a good skiff this morning. We milked and it was 9 degrees and the milk froze to the side of the bucket.
It did.
But it warmed up a little bit. I think it was 11 last time we looked.
Yeah.
And we probably got about an inch of snow, maybe a little more during the day today.
It's a heat wave, 13 degrees.
13 degrees.
13 degrees.
Get out your grass skirt.
1 degree this morning, and it's 3 now, Marcia says. Marcia's quite a bit. She's a couple hours north of us, or 3 hours north of us. And so, yeah, it's cold up there. Cold in them there hills. At least it is in these hills. Cold, cold, cold. And I got to try to remember to look up there at the camera and not at the screen. But, yeah, that helps.
I just keep looking at myself like, what is that funny looking thing?
He's a goofball. But he keeps me entertained. I don't know. I'll keep him around a while. But anyway, so what's going on in y'all's life? We've been starting seeds and getting ready. I have peppers sprouting.
Yep.
And the greenhouse is up and ready.
Well, thank you, Marcia. I'm glad you think I look beautiful.
Thank you, Marcia. Look at him. He's so pretty.
Hey, Claybank Homestead.
Hey, Claybank. Awesome. Glad you're in here today. Yeah. So we've got the greenhouse up and going. We do not have a heater in it. So the plants are still inside. Got them under the grow light. I've got 3 trays of peppers going right now. Oh, all right.
Hey, Old Reading Farm.
John and Christina are in here, or Catherine. I'm sorry, I got Christina on the brain. John and Catherine are in here.
I gotta admit something. We're gonna have true confessions here for a minute.
True confessions.
I have been bad about just watching a few other YouTubers
Mhm.
and not watching a lot of you. So last week when we went live, I went back and watched some of you guys and saw some of you and what you're doing and different things. And Old Reading Farm, I don't think I'd ever watched but maybe one video of y'all's before then. And I went back and looked a little last week. I think theirs was one of the ones.
Yep,
Yeah,
it was.
I know it was.
Yep.
And I really liked y'all's videos.
Some of us.
Some of us.
Yeah. Now I have been John and Catherine. YouTube channels, John or Catherine, whichever one. Gary doesn't get much time to watch channels. A lot of times, like when I'm making soap or I'm working on homestead projects or whatever, I will have a channel of the day, or I'll go through my feed and watch who I'm subscribed to. And sometimes I'll search a subject and watch videos or listen to them mainly. And so I have been, and I've even come in on a couple of John and Catherine's lives. Catherine's chatting. Okay. So I have come in on a couple of John and Catherine's lives.
They usually on Wednesday
It
night.
is
right?
on Wednesday night, and it's really
we're
pretty
committed
busy.
on
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
Yeah, and
we're pretty committed all the time.
committed to something, and might be
We're
the loony
committed.
bin next time.
Started your brassicas, awesome.
Yeah.
Can't spell.
That's
all right.
okay, Marcia.
So
you know, Marcia, we are both dyslexic, and so long as you phonetically sound, if it sounds right, like when you know, if you get the vowels that'll make it sound correct, even though it may not be written correctly, we'll know what you're talking about, and we may not know how to spell it either. You're gonna hit another gear.
Hit another beer.
Dyslexia. Another deer. Yeah. All right, Claybank. That's awesome. So what's your next adventure, Claybank? And I wrote down people's names because I'm real bad at getting on here and getting nervous, and then I can't remember names. And so yeah. Anyway, Catherine, I'm so glad that you're in here. And I really enjoy you and John's channel. I like seeing some of the things. Plus,
houseboat build.
A houseboat. That's awesome.
So y'all close to a pretty good body of water? I know they're in Louisiana, right?
They're in the south.
Claybank, are you close to a pretty good body of water to run that on? What body of water are you close to? Yeah.
Yes, Marcia. YouTube is a learning process. Yes,
some
Catherine.
Kind of football game going
There's
on.
some kind of.
I think.
Yeah.
I got to tell you guys that I thought I'd raise my kids pretty country, but last weekend I mentioned to my middle daughter, and somebody I'd never heard this or seen this, but North Florida, Chattahoochee.
Awesome. All right. Okay.
Andy Griffith did a skit called "What It Was Football," and he described a country boy ending up at a football game and never seen it before. Man, if you guys haven't ever seen that or heard that,
you search it on YouTube. It's on there.
What It Was Football by Andy Griffith. It is hilarious. Yes. And so we often talk about the convict running up and down the cow patch or the cow pasture and chasing the pumpkin all over the place. And that's
and how we got started on that is she has a friend that's going to Canada to play football. Play football. So, and he's yeah. Cool. Yes, Catherine, it would be super cool.
Exploring alternatives. I like watching that too. That's one of the things I actually sometimes watch.
Yeah, exploring. So yeah. I had something. I don't remember what it was. It's gone now. Sorry, ADD moment. But we will North Florida. Yeah, we've been teasing the kid. We were talking to our oldest son, Luke, Our oldest son, he's our only son that we, and he, they're gonna have a big bowl
50
party.
meat birds this year. Yeah.
Yay, Marcia. Don't do 200.
Come
Do
on.
not.
You still
Do
have
not.
plenty of chicken. We've actually almost emptied our freezer. We have emptied our. Well, we've gotten all the chicken out.
We've gotten all the chicken out of our.
Now we got to go get it out of one of the various neighbors' freezers we put it in because we stored it in everybody's freezer. When you butcher 170 chickens, which is what we ended up doing, there's a lot of places. You got to find a lot of places.
You got to find some freezer space.
And we weren't butchering 3-pound chicken. We were butchering 5, 6, 7-pound chickens. So.
We only had 3 chickens that were in the 3-pound range.
Yeah.
And we had like 7 that were in the 4 to 5 pound. And the rest of them were 5 pounds plus. I mean, like 7 plus. So we had several that were 7 plus. Majority of them were the 5 to 6.5 pounds.
I think the biggest one that we had that we weighed was
714.
714, just almost 8
almost
pounds.
8 pounds. Huge chickens. They were T-Rexes. I'm telling you, they were
amazingly delicious. When you let a bird complete growing like that and get some fat on it, it's good.
Now these were Cornish crosses.
Yeah.
And so they were made to grow.
Like that.
What? Oh, Marcia, there we go. Cornish crosses is what we raised. We got them. We got them. Yes, Claybank. That's a lot of. Yeah. Yes, it is. We had to get turkey bags to put them in, small turkey bags.
Yeah, and we sold some to people that used them like Thanksgiving turkeys.
And that was really good to do. And like several of our. But we found, guys, several people bought them as to bake them like a turkey because they were going to have such a small Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. But we found people don't want to buy a whole chicken, and legally in Kansas we can't cut one up.
We can have it.
We can have it processed somewhere, but that's very hard to get into one, and they're a long ways from us. None of them's close to us.
We can sell them if we process them ourselves, but we have to sell them as a whole chicken.
Yeah, we have to leave them whole according to Kansas law.
It surprises me.
Yeah.
How many people are intimidated by cutting up a chicken?
Yes. Yeah. I did it at farmer's market yesterday morning, or yesterday just afternoon, because farmer's market ends at noon. I did with a whole chicken still frozen, still in the bag, using my hand like it's a knife, showed how to make the cuts and walked 2 guys through making cuts on a whole chicken if they wanted to cut it up. And also discussed other options of going ahead and just either stewing the chicken or baking the chicken and reserving the juice, and then dividing up the meat into dividing the meat into manageable freezer size to put away. Gary's a little tired. He's had a really busy week, and
after church I moved hay and did chores, and
yeah,
Mr. Paul came and helped me move some hay.
Oh, cool! Yay, Mr. Paul!
Because the truck at the farm that I partner on cattle with, it doesn't have windshield wipers.
Oh yeah, and with the snow coming down.
Hay in the snow.
So did you give Mr. Paul some eggs?
No, I forgot.
Mr. Paul needs some eggs.
But he did move some hay for us. And
good.
We got a nice bale of hay out to beef cattle and some other things.
To find some people to help you with processed chickens, Marcia, that'll be good. Good. So Kansas Misfit is Marcia. She's a friend of ours. We've been friends for 3 or 4 years now.
Marcia, I know that some areas, there are rental places, even like the hardware stores that rent equipment. You can rent a plucker at different places. So you might kind of check out and look around and see if you can rent a plucker. If you can rent a plucker, it's the way to go, and it's worth paying for. And you're just going to use it, like during the one day or whatever with 50. If you had help and you got started in the morning, you could do 50 in the day. You'd have to get after it and work at it all day. Yeah. You could do it.
Pickled 48 eggs, Marcia. Awesome. We love pickled eggs. Claybank started harvesting catfish. You have to pay $8.25 a pound.
Is that to buy fish? Is that to have it processed?
So,
what's that price for?
We will start harvesting catfish. So are you going to like a place like a hatchery or a place that's stocked?
Hey, we need more info.
Yeah, we do, because different. That's a little bit of a cultural blank for us. We go to the creek, or not necessarily the creek. We go to the ponds, the lake. That's a
the
huge
watersheds into the river.
into the river and catch catfish.
And it just costs our fishing license.
6 acres. Farm and rescues hatching chicks, getting ready for pullet sales in the spring.
82 chicks.
80 chicks so far. Awesome. That'll be a good income for you. We're still working on the income level. We're slowly increasing every year. Last year, it officially became more than a hobby, and we had to actually file a tax return on it. Fillets out of the store. Wow.
Oh yeah, to buy catfish.
To buy it out of the store. Gotcha.
I have very rarely bought fish in my life. I like fish, but we've always fished so much that we very rarely. And I guess that's what you're saying, that you're going to start harvesting some of your own.
Gotcha.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I imagine, unless the water's really polluted, that you can harvest quite a bit of catfish where you're at.
Yeah,
or is there a limit?
I don't know. I've never been in Florida.
I've never been in Florida either. I have a sister wants to move there, but
I have been to Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Louisiana, Mississippi right after Hurricane Katrina, and I spent a few weeks there helping. I went there to help clean up, but they found out I knew how to read a tape measure, so I ended up rebuilding some roofs and stuff like that.
Did some recovery.
Did some recovery. That's hard. That's hard stuff. But yeah, that's the only time I've been that far south, and that was just, like I said, Mississippi was as far east as I went. We are central United States, Intermountain West people.
Yep.
Going far east for us is like Missouri and Arkansas. But then we end up going west and north more. But
I think St. Louis is the furthest. No, I have not been to St. Louis. It was in Arkansas. Is that Little Rock that's all the way over on the?
No, Little Rock's on the west side.
Okay. Maybe I did go to St. Louis. I don't remember.
Farmers. Huh. Yeah, cool.
$6 for chicks.
That's neat that you've got a
yes.
set up market for your pullets, hatching pullets. That's a cool way to have some income coming.
You've got the cleanest river in the south. Awesome.
All right.
That's
cool.
good. That's good. They're really warning us about mercury poisoning here, to be careful.
I don't know if you're that.
Marcia?
Zone 3 is pretty far north.
Yeah.
Marcia. So are we in 6A?
We're 6A. So Marcia may be 5B. Yeah, but I do plant more towards the 5B.
Yeah.
Just because we're just.
So Marcia, you might look at like 5A or maybe 4B.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of run in between there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I'll watch the weather patterns. Like we're supposed to have a warm up, and we're going to have this week is going to be bitter cold, like we're having an Arctic blast, which the most of us are in the United States. And so it's going to be bitter cold. And so I'm not putting anything outside.
Yeah, I knew you were up on the Nebraska line.
Oh, you're up from, okay.
Yeah, and I would, look at a map, but I'm going to say you're not 4 zones or 3 zones different from us. You're a zone maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet you're 5B. But
5A.
Or 5A. Yeah. Look on the Kansas, the K-State website, Marcia, and there is a lot of information on the K-State website that'll help you to plant for your area. It'll give you a better planting guide and such.
I'm not sure we were in zone 3 in northeastern Wyoming. We were
4. We were zone 4 and
4A, maybe 3B.
Yeah.
But, so yeah.
I know we were zone 4 is what I planted on.
Up there.
You're welcome, Marcia.
One thing about Kansas is there is a lot of information on growing stuff in Kansas.
K-State is really good.
Yes, and there's a couple of gardener, like you can do like state extension stuff for garden stuff, and man, Kansas is all about growing stuff. So you
Yes.
can find lots of information if you start looking in Kansas.
And you know, if you're local, there's lots of Facebook groups, and there's a couple that I
Zone
steer.
8.
Zone
All right,
8,
6
yeah.
Acre Farm and Rescue.
Cool. Georgia, South Carolina. Cool. So
Chicken
Lime.
breed is Lavender Orpington.
Oh, cool. Oh, those are
MB
gorgeous.
Heritage. Hey.
Hey guys.
Awesome.
MB Heritage. Hi guys. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Robertsons are down with the crud, so they're not going to be able to mod for us tonight. And so be praying for them. Rusty does have some pre-existing health conditions that make him high risk, so please be praying for them. And their whole all 4 of them that live in that home are positive, so please be praying for them. Miss Gracie's expecting in May. I believe it's May. Oh, Miss Gracie's expecting, and so pray for her
Purple chickens.
and the baby. Yeah, purple chickens.
I don't know if they're purple.
They're not purple.
They're lavender.
They're kind of
gray.
gray blue.
Yeah.
They're really pretty. They're gorgeous.
I tell you what, the Lavender Orpingtons is one chicken I haven't had much dealing with. I've seen some pictures of them, and I've seen a couple.
We have
of
a cross. Some of our blue, I think, are lavender crosses. She had some Lavender Orpingtons that I think she crossed with her Americanas, and our gray blue Americanas out there.
Okay.
I think that old one that we have, I think she was a Lavender Orpington cross.
Okay.
And that's the heavy body she has.
Right.
And
that one gray blue one we have is a game chicken from the zoo.
No, not that one. The other one. She's the old one. She got spurs about like that on her.
Yeah.
I don't think she's laying this year, but yeah, she's a real pretty blue. But she has the muffs and the rose comb.
All right, we've got 6 people in here.
Woohoo! Hi everybody. If you haven't checked in and said hey, say hey. If you have not checked out these other channels, go check them out. Show them some love, y'all.
Yeah, most of who I see in here, I know that several I'm seeing have channels that you have videos up on, so that's cool.
Yep.
And I know, Marcia, I know you have a couple or some.
You have
Kansas
some videos.
Misfit has some videos, so cool. 6 people and 5 thumbs.
Woohoo!
I've only got 2.
7 people.
Somebody's short of thumb.
Somebody's short of thumb. That's not funny.
Now there's 4 thumbs and 7
somebody
people.
Somebody took away their thumb.
I said the wrong thing.
Hi, Bonnie. How are you doing up in Ontario?
Jake Johnson. Hello.
And hi, Jake.
So here's the deal, guys. We now have 7 people in here.
And 5 thumbs up.
And here, yeah. Oh, we got another thumb. So here's the deal. I want you to, on your comment or whatever we call this thing on the side, the live chat, if you had to choose garden or chickens, which one would you choose? If you could only do one, would you choose garden or chickens?
Wow, 6 Acres says a lavender trio is $140 for a full-grown breeding trio. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Ozark, Missouri.
Ozark, hey.
I love that corner of Missouri.
Woo. Yeah.
Garden. Jake
Johnson
would pick
a garden. Cool, Jake. That's
Beautiful
awesome.
Light gray. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
Ours are more of a darker gray, more of a blue or dark gray. But they're not Lavender Orpingtons, except for that one. I think she
Kansas Misfit garden. Choose a garden. Oh, Brian lost.
Bonnie.
Yeah. Brian's. Yeah, that guy.
Brian's Lost Hills Homestead.
Garden in Ontario, Bonnie.
Bonnie would pick a garden.
I guess chickens.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, if I had to choose garden or chickens, I'd choose pigs.
Gary loves pigs. Catherine, I was so impressed with y'all's video where John broke down your income from the homestead farm this week for last year. And they definitely did. Our chickens, we've made quite a bit of money, but we're able to handle larger breeds. And right now, beef is our big producer, and right behind it is hogs and then chickens. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you though, like I heard VW Family Farms say, our biggest income on our farm is my full-time job.
Yes. So just Brian. Brian is just
Fine.
Brian.
Okay. I started to pronounce all that, and I just got tongue tied. Yeah.
So
But
yeah, just
Brian, it's
Brian.
good to see you here. We want a few pigs too.
You want a few pigs? Yeah.
Guys, pigs are a very thrifty homestead animal. I love to look at the history of homesteading and self-reliance or sustenance level agriculture. And often that was the progression. It was chickens and a garden, and then it was a pig, and then it was a dairy animal of some sort. And often when you look at those sustenance level farms, and especially I've been reading some about the freed slaves, how when they would go and finally get their freedom, they would begin to farm in that way, and they'd have a chicken house, and they'd have a garden, and then they'd get a pig, and they'd feed pig scraps, both those, and then they'd get a milk animal, and that was that provided their food. That's what it was there for. And if you think about basic providing nutrition for your family, some chickens and a garden go a long ways. But a pig is a good addition to that.
Yeah, I would pick chickens. So,
show off your lavender orchids.
Lavender
That's
orchids,
awesome.
yes. Hey, JRS, Texas. Hi, guys. Glad you come in. Marcia had. Yes, it truly is a 40-hour-a-week job. Gary's job is like crazy.
Yeah, and yeah, you can. You can keep yourself busy on a couple acres of ground, and you can do a lot. But sometimes you just need the income of a job, and that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah,
we kind of bounce back and forth. But right now, I'm doing some remodeling and doing some fence building. Mm-hmm. I also have I'm a pastor, and I have a small income from that, and that takes a lot of time.
It does.
A lot more time than you would think once you get to doing all the aspects of it. But I love it.
Yeah.
That would be my dream, is just to grow food and pastor my church. I love that. But I know how to read a tape measure and run a saw, so do a little carpenter and stuff too to pay the bills. So.
Yep. August, yeah. We skip. So the hogs that we got that are scheduled to go into the butcher in mid-March, I set that date last April for a whole year out.
We set processing dates and then bought animals.
And the guy laughed at me. He said, "Sister, those hogs haven't even been born yet." I said, "I know, but I want to get dates and I'll buy pigs accordingly." And we did find pigs and got them bought, growing them out. Cool. 6 acres. Everything goes back to the rescue. Cool.
Well, a little late, Lori Carpenter.
No problem, Lori. I'm glad you're here. He's going to be ornery and pick on you about it, but I'm glad you're here.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I would appreciate honest answers, but please keep them friendly. Some of our videos we shot this week for our channel this week are very much oriented around our faith, and that's part of our channel. And if you guys watch this long, you've heard me say that many times. That's who we are. But I'd like to know if you enjoy those, or if you just kind of skip by those, our faith-oriented videos. Let me know. Like I said, please keep it friendly, but just let me know honestly.
Jake says he'd love to have chickens. They're on a half acre in the city, and they're only allowed 6 chickens. And I'm going to assume hens. That's the rules around here usually for town folks, is hens, because roosters are too loud and noisy. There is.
Jake, garden's a good start, man.
Yeah, it's a great start.
And I've got a friend that has a garden and bees, and he's actually got chickens too.
Yes.
But a garden and bees, and he goes a long ways with just garden and bees. And his chickens, he raises some eggs and some meat.
RSJ really likes the faith-driven videos. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, Drops. How are y'all doing? Are you watching the Big Bowl? Okay.
And
thank you, Brian.
and
Brian, yeah.
I'm going to. I just kind of wanted to know how you guys felt about it. I wanted a little feedback, but I'm going to do what I want to do. You ain't the boss of me.
He's a mess. Sorry, Brian. He's a mess. Yeah, he's a little bit.
I appreciate that encouragement, though, Brian.
Yes, thank you, Brian. Thank you. Yeah, he's an oldest child, and so if that gives you any clue to his personality, and I'm a middle child, so there we go.
Yeah, and that's
thank you.
I do that. Thanks, MB Heritage. I do that. I just kind of wanted a little feedback because I don't know who's skipping me and who's not.
Quit watching when they start kneeling because they weren't praying. Yeah. Oh, gotcha. On the bowl. He's talking about the bowl. We've never been much fans.
If I go watch a football game, I know the kids play.
Yeah. We're fans of the kids is what we always tell the kids. We're fans of the kids, and our concern is them growing in their relationship with Christ and growing healthy. And unfortunately, there's so many injuries from sports, and just we have family members that are nearly crippled from high school sports, and it's not worth it. I mean, it's just not worth it to me. So we didn't encourage our kids much to
doubling and tripling garden space.
Awesome.
I'll tell you about my son's football career.
Oh, bless him. Poor thing.
He played junior high football, got injured, and where we were at that time, junior high was 3 years, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Mm-hmm. Got injured the first year and didn't really like it. And the second year, I guess, I went elk hunting while he was at football practice. And he's like, I ain't never playing football again if it keeps me from elk hunting. Kept him from trapping and elk hunting. He's like, I ain't doing that.
Marcia, love God and look forward to returning home to him and need Jesus to do that. That is absolutely correct, Marcia. That's right.
Thanks, Lori. You watch all our videos, our faith-based videos. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got one, just so you know, Cindy was working on one today.
It'll come up later this week. Yep.
Yeah.
You'll have lovers and haters.
Each in ministry. Cool.
And you're the middle child. Yeah, we got to stick together. Yeah.
There was no middle child at my house growing up. It was me and my brother, and everybody else was in trouble.
Gary's mom always said having YouTube boys was like having 5 normal children. But she came from a group of girls. She didn't have any brothers. She only had sisters. So there's a whole new ball of wax between boys and girls. I'm telling you. And we were raised to be pretty tomboy. We didn't have any brothers. And Daddy, somebody had to help with the cattle, and somebody had to help him with the water wells and fixing wells and stuff. So yeah.
Have to start all over again. That's cool. They have expanded. Doing great. Thanks, MB Heritage.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just the 3 boys. Me and my brother, we were so calm and collected. And
is
such
lying.
Angel little kids. Aside from occasionally riding a mule through the house, we were okay.
Or tying up their cousin that was babysitting them, tying her up because they're playing Cowboys and Indians. So they tied her up. Yeah. And then ran around and did what they wanted to do.
Jake Johnson. Love faith-oriented videos. It's great to get biblical perspective.
RSJ Texas said that his boys were grown. Their kids missed it. I'm happy to go back up here.
Their kids were in ministry.
Both in ministry. Kids are grown. Both of your kids are grown and in ministry. That's awesome.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, Marsha's going to be doing in-ground and a new garden. MB Heritage is expanding as well. Thank you, MB Heritage Farms. And yeah, you got blamed for everything as hell. Yeah.
I probably did too, and the ones my brother got half.
I I will tell you though, I know I got whoopings I didn't deserve. And I won't name her name, but my baby sister, who I dearly love, we are very close in age. And all my sisters and I are very close in age. She'd get me into some doozies, I'll tell you. And I got a couple licks for her. I'll tell you the truth. 3 sisters. And Marsha wants us to explain the 3 sisters. Jake Johnson,
Where you seen that?
right here.
Oh.
And then Jake Johnson has not seen any of our videos. This is the first time to see us. Welcome, Jake. Welcome, Jake. It's great to get a biblical perspective from people everywhere you look. That's right, Jake. You never know what you're going to learn from others. That's right. Leanne drops, of course, they're whooping. Marsha's the oldest and took the blame for everything. Yeah.
So the 3 sisters,
3 sisters.
that is when you plant corn and beans and squash together, you can
companion gardening.
Yeah, and you can do that different ways. A lot of times the squash was planted, or the corn was planted in a hill, and when it started to sprout, started to break the top of the ground, they would plant beans
Beside it.
beside that in that hill, and then on the edges of that hill, after that started to sprout, they would plant squash. And they support each other. The beans being a legume, they draw nitrogen from the soil. They asphyx nitrogen in the soil
To the root, around the roots of the corn.
and they can grow up the corn.
For
So
the
they give the
support.
corn nutrients, and they grow up the corn for support. And then the squash, there's some things it does. For one thing, it shades the ground and helps hold moisture in,
And repels predators.
and it helps repel some predators to the corn, pack rats and coons and stuff a little bit. It depends on where you're at. I've seen places where coons don't care. Like squash too.
Yes, drops, not pumpkins, squash. Yes.
Yeah, and pumpkins could be used like that. And a lot of times in native gardening, pumpkins and squash were kind of an interchangeable thing. But there's different kinds of squash that work really good in that. We struggle with not having enough nutrients in one spot and enough water in one spot to do that. We've done better when the squash was planted in hills in between the corn hills, and not planting it right in there, because it just shades it out, and it just, they fight too much. They struggle too much against each other. The beans do okay. We have found that the Kentucky Wonder Pole beans work a lot better than the Cherokee Trail of Tears. They produce better in that.
We're too dry for the Cherokee Trail of Tears, even though heritage-wise, we have purposely this year going to try to do a little bit more towards Gary's heritage for that, and to plant more of a traditional corn for his heritage, and for the Cherokee side, and but we don't really have a Cherokee.
You mean
corn.
there's not a traditional Scottish corn? Oh, it's oats, guys.
Oats. But
you can plant sunflowers next to the corn too. You're
right.
Yes. I've heard that called Four Sisters, but it works. It's so one thing sunflowers do in that, and I was reading about this is really cool, is they draw a lot of beneficial insects.
Yes.
They draw a lot of pollinators, but they also draw the predator insects and stuff like that. And they're really good for that. They draw in some ants and some things like that really help with that situation.
RSJ Texas is doing raised beds, in-ground, and container gardening. Yes, Marsha, the beans grow up the corn and are the support. The corn's the support. A squash like crooknecks or zucchinis. Drops. We have done better with like a winter squash, so we've done with butternut, and we did that little pumpkin, or that little football. What is it called? It was a Nebraska, an heirloom seed from a Nebraska family.
Nebraska something squash that I've never even seen or heard of before. That was from
Seed Savers Exchange.
Seed Savers, yes, and that
was neat.
Few of them, I had a little trouble with germination there. I'm not sure it was the seed company's fault. I think it was my garden's fault.
I think so too.
But the few that come up put on some nice squash, and we've eaten a couple of those. Very, very interesting. We threw them on top of a roast and cooked them like a sweet potato in the roast, and they were really good.
Okay, we answered as you asked. Patience.
Draw toxins out of the soil.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Sunflowers. I didn't know that about sunflowers. And heavy metals. Well, that might be a good thing. We have a lot. So where our home
Hubbard's, yeah,
Hubbards,
work
yes,
nice.
Hubbards work good.
Acorn squash work good in
Acorn
that.
in butternuts, spaghetti squash would do good there. Anything that's going to be there, the zucchini and the yellow squash, you're going to have to be in there and harvesting. Anything that you pretty much can leave and grow, because your corn, you're going to want it to be a flint corn, not a sweet corn. You're going to want your beans to be a dry whole bean.
You can do a flint corn, or you can do a popcorn. Works really nice.
Popcorn too.
If you'd rather eat popcorn than grind your corn.
And there are some dual purpose or multi-purpose.
One of the neat corns that I haven't grown, but I've seen is Hopi Blue. Oh. And they say it makes a really nice sweet corn, like a roasting ear, but it also makes a good grinding corn. And that's something that's neat. We actually have a corn that I've been developing, like purposely selecting colors and sizes and stuff. And so we planted that. And some of you all that maybe got in on our seed swap box one time, we put some of that in there.
RSJ said they had good luck with butternuts. We did not have luck. Our second or third planting.
Last year altogether.
Bugs were horrible on us last year.
And we had a lot of water issues.
And water.
Our whole water system, we were dependent on our municipality water, and we just had a hard
time. Marcia, I plant do we plant 4 beans around each corn? I don't know. I poke a hole. I think I do 3. I think I do 3 seeds around the corn.
Family.
Yeah.
And typically a flint corn does that. Sometimes popcorn's not, so you might ought to check it out on that.
Do we eat flint corn, Marcia? Marcia, we make our own cornmeal out of the corn is what we'll eat it for. Flint corn means that it's a dry corn that's going to be used for milling, is my understanding of the definition of flint corn. Please correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. Jake, we are in southeast Kansas.
Dropsy did a video on Three Sisters this week. That's awesome.
I missed it. I don't normally watch most of yours. I missed it.
Where are you guys located? We're kind of almost southeast Kansas. We're in the Kansas Flint Hills, kind of towards the southeast part of that.
We're in the, here you go. We are in the northwest corner of southeast Kansas. How's that sound? So we're almost central Kansas, but we can't, never mind. We won't go there. Won't go there. And chickens can feed a lot of homeless animals on chicken sales. Yes, you can. You sure can. And you can, and the eggs, you can use the eggs to feed them too. I know you don't want to overdo because it's too much protein; they'll get diarrhea. But yeah,
I planted a golden bantam one year to try to use as a multi-purpose corn, and it didn't grow as great as I'd like it to. And at that time, I had a garden where I could really grow some stuff. It didn't grow as good as I thought it should. Galena.
I'll have to look that one up.
I know that name, but I can't think of where it's at.
We're new to Kansas. We have been here 9 years.
The golden bantam corn that I planted, I will say that it had a good flavor. It didn't grow as great as I would like to. Yeah, Marcia, if you'll, I wish we had a moderator in here putting their link up, but if you'll just go on your YouTube search and just type that name in. I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah, let me see if I can do drops. I'll try to work on my phone, Marcia, and put that in, okay? Says Galena.
We don't have a moderator in here.
No, we don't. I may need to. There's Ricky.
Hey, Ricky. How are you? I think, and Brittany's too. Are you guys sitting next to each other on different phones?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to get you a link to Marcia. Let me see what I can do here. 2.5 hours, RSJ, Texas from Galena. Trying to look. Ooh, that's.
No, okay.
Oh, it is.
That's suspicious looking. Okay. No.
So it is way down in the southeast corner.
Actually, we don't know how Brittany is commenting. Okay. Yeah, Marcia, you can use a blender. We use a coffee grinder.
Yeah, just a cheap Walmart coffee grinder.
Yeah, that's what we grind our coffee in. A blender can work. A food processor is going to work better. You can use your food processor. Oh, I got you. Well, hi, Riley.
Hi, Riley.
Well, that's all right. She can watch us too.
Yeah.
I watched her pluck a chicken, so I guess she can watch
Yeah.
our live.
Down in the corner. That's right, RSJ. Down. It looks like it's due west. Sorry, due west of Joplin, which is pretty. Gary's familiar with that area.
Kansas Misfit, how far are you from Marysville?
Okay. I think she's a ways, but
yeah, you're right.
Far east north corner. Stick a fish head and some other manure underneath corn. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Gary's grandpa, his Cherokee grandpa did that.
Yeah, my mom's folks over northeastern Oklahoma did that. That's what he would often put fish guts in there. And well, my other grandpa in central Oklahoma, he buried everything in his garden. He buried everything in his garden.
Eggshells and everything in the garden. Okay, I'm gonna try to get on the live. I'm slow. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, Jake, you're not terribly far from my brother. He's north of Lebanon ways, but you're not terribly far from my brother and my mom and dad. And yeah, we're pretty much in the same growing zone. We're gonna get we get a lot different rain patterns than you do, but we're in the same zone.
Okay, let me see. So I need to go to drops.
Yep. I'm going to tell you that we lived in Payne County, Oklahoma for a long time. That's where my mom or my dad's folks lived. And they still, my grandma still owns that place. She's not living there right now, but that's red dirt. And probably a little more sandy than what you knew in Georgia, but Grandpa put a lot of stuff in there to make that decent dirt. Grew a lot of garden in that.
Okay, Marcia, I got the link for drops in there.
57 garlic cloves planted. That's amazing. Cool. Gotta love garlic.
Thanks, drops. I found it. I got it on there. I think we posted at the same time. I just get distracted too easy. But yeah, I know. So I got drops. Let's see, who else do we have in here? We ought to put a link in for Old Reading.
Is there somebody in here that we can just make a moderator?
Catherine, are you still in here, honey?
Old Reading. I think we'd like to make you a moderator
if that's okay with you.
We want your okay before we do that.
Yes.
Somebody who might be or might not be in here made me a moderator one time while I was listening on Cindy's phone. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. I barely figured out how to turn the thing on. And my phone won't do that.
Yeah, so if you would like to be a moderator, raise your hand.
Specifically Old Reading.
Catherine may not be in here anymore.
Okay.
She may have went on. I mean, we're 48 minutes in, so.
Wow. It amazes me how fast these
MB
go.
Heritage makes a good mod. MB, are you good with that?
Somebody actually do the work so we can just yak.
Shelf gives excellent nitrogen, works as a slow release. Yes, it does as it breaks down. Yep. When we lived in the West Coast, we used a lot of crab shell for their garden and kelp. Cool. That's awesome. That's good to know. Cool.
So I got to tell you about an experience when I was a kid. I'd been reading.
Marcia, I'm not sure how to tell you how to make your channel.
So when I was a kid, I caught a whole bunch of crawdads. And I asked my grandma, my mom, who was quite the cook, to cook crawdads for me. I'd been reading about it, seeing it, cook crawdads. I had a 5-gallon bucket full of crawdads I'd caught there in northeastern Oklahoma. And she said, sure, I'll cook those for you. And then made me sit down on a picnic table and peel the tails out of every one of them stinking crawdads till I got a bowl full of crawdad tails. And then she breaded and deep fried them things. You know what? They were pretty good.
Were they worth the vein?
I don't know if they were. Yeah, it was a lot of work. But then Grandpa turned around and buried all the carcasses in garden, like he did that with a lot of things, and he had some composters too. Actually, he had compost beds and stuff too. But there's a lot of show pigeons.
Oh yeah, putting a garden where the show pigeon
Yeah.
coop was. That's awesome. Yeah, all that aged manure.
Time to do a boil. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have tried that since. My son and I have done that a few times, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I got to tell you, bread and fried's probably better.
We put them in a bucket and change the water out on them for a day or so that they'd be all cleaned out by the time we got ready to clean them.
And also, if you don't know, you can take the middle tail on a crawdad, the middle tail fin, and just snap it each way a little bit till you hear it click, and then kind of twist and pull real slow, and you can pull all the gut track out of a crawdad and leave it whole right before you throw it in the pot to do it.
Works for shrimp as well.
Yeah. Cool. Somebody says, oh.
I said that, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, chickens are easier than pigeons. I would say so. I would think the pigeons would be similar to quail. I think quail are hard. They're not necessarily hard once they're grown, but when they're babies, those suckers are fragile. Jake said you thought she was gonna eat them all after you peeled them. She wouldn't. She wouldn't have. She loved her.
No, Grandma loved to feed people.
Yeah, and he was her favorite. No, not really her favorite, but
she
loved them all, and she would do whatever she thought them babies wanted. Marsha, you're trying to lose 100 pounds this year. Girl, me and you both. No, I don't need to lose 100, but I need to lose quite a bit.
Started your yams?
You started your yams and sweet potato slips. Good, 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 good. Yeah, I hope you get a lot too, Marsha. I've got a couple going, probably not near enough, but I have a friend that has several going, and I'm just going to purchase some slips off of him. Quail aren't hard to raise. Got 100 of the wild ones running around all over the place here, LOL. They've been doing studies on quail in our area, and they're really struggling.
They've done better in the last few years.
They have.
Wild quail have the bobwhites.
Yeah.
But
and the prairie chickens is the other thing we have. We have them come down in the bottom of the field.
Saw probably 15 prairie chickens the other day out where we were working.
Good, where you were fencing?
On Rhodes Place.
Drops is zone 6B. Yeah, it's hard to start a garden right now. Yeah, so you're being.
It's real hard to start a garden here.
We're frozen ground.
We're 6A, 5B kind of.
Yeah.
It's like frozen. There's an inch of snow on the ground.
Marsha says she has to purchase some slips as well. Yeah. Sometimes that's just the way it is. I have been so busy. You're in Spokane, west of Spokane, so you're on the West Coast, and you get quite a bit of off the Pacific, don't you?
Spokane's that's not the coast of Washington though. That's inner Washington.
Right, but they still get the warmth off of the ocean. Yeah. That's cool, because once you get over the mountains, it gets a little more cooler, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't know.
Washington once. We flew to Seattle.
Yeah, we flew to Seattle.
And that's the only time I've been on the West Coast.
It's mild like Salt Lake City. Well, we flew into Salt Lake. Yeah. They got us on a puddle jumper
we flew from Casper to Salt Lake.
And then got on a big jet and went from Salt Lake to.
Did we stop somewhere? Or we go directly to Seattle?
We went directly to Seattle, and then then we reversed. So we went on the north side of
the big airport we were in was Salt Lake.
Yeah. So we went on
Seattle.
When we flew into Seattle, we went on the north side of Rainier, but you couldn't see Rainier because it was cloud covered. And then when we left out, we flew out the south side of Rainier.
Comes across Oregon. Okay. Most of the weather comes across Oregon.
Okay. That makes sense. And then we flew on the south, and we did get to see Rainier when we flew out.
So, Drops, Spokane, are you in the drier part of Washington? Is that the drier part? I can't remember.
Oh, Marsha, yes. You want to do a collaboration showing our weekly gardens? That would be awesome. I usually don't necessarily do a
Yeah, the Columbian
collaboration.
Basin. Okay, you are in the Gulf
Yeah,
Coast.
I just show just an update on my garden. But that would be neat to do a collab. We could do that.
Yeah, I thought Spokane was the drier part of Washington. I knew
Well,
there's the rainforest out on the coast, and then it's high desert basically.
well, there you go, Drops. You got a fellow Washingtoner. I don't know how you say that, Washingtonite.
Where are you seeing that?
Jake. Jake says he was born in Puyallup and used to live in Tacoma and moved to Westport.
Okay. And now you're in the Ozarks?
Now you're in the Ozarks.
Actually, Ozark.
You're in Ozark. Been there. We love the Ozarks, by the way.
Yeah.
Drops has weather similar to Adrian's, if you know who that is. Montana. Whoop, whoop. We like Montana too.
Yeah.
Except for the cold.
Spent a lot more time in Montana.
A lot more time in Montana
than some of the other places we just mentioned.
Yeah, we
Not
were
more than the Ozarks.
We were 2.5 hours from Billings.
Yeah.
And so we went to Billings a bit.
We were in northeastern Wyoming for a while.
Oh, Marsha, you're originally from Pryor.
Been there quite a bit.
No, I'm sorry, Marsha. I misread that. I'm sorry. You're going to Pryor
meetup.
For the meetup.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for the YouTube family reunion. We went last year to the first one, and we're gonna try to go this year. We'll see. We are expecting a calf that weekend, and I don't know that we'll go. We're pretty close to that weekend.
Yeah, Butte is over there on the west side. It is a lot colder.
Butte, yeah, is a lot colder.
It's higher elevation too, if I remember.
I think so. I think that's right. We went through Butte that one time. We've mostly been
to
Billings.
Butte a couple times.
Yes, you were right. You went once without me.
Yeah.
Yes, Jake, the Ozarks are gorgeous. Yes, we love them. Except for Gary gets car sick, and so the going up, down, and around the curves. And Miss Cindy may or may not have been a race car driver.
She forgets which pedal she's pushing down that hard sometimes.
Nope. Which has come in handy to know how to handle a car when you're going fast.
How about you just don't go fast?
I knew that was coming.
You can always slow down, folks.
Coworker lives in Butte, and you laugh when she complains about this or that. Yeah. We went, the only time I was in Butte, it was summer. We were coming back from Canada and went down through there or was it Butte? It was Helena. It was Helena, not Butte. So I guess I haven't been to Butte unless we went through Butte. I thought we went to Helena and then I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I was following somebody and I was kind of upset because they weren't communicating and I didn't know where we were going. I didn't know we weren't going the way we came. Like we came out of Canada in the same place that we went in, but we took a sharp westerly way and they didn't keep in communication with us and we just followed them. Went over to Butte last year for your coworker's daughter's wedding. Awesome.
Watching from Tucson,
Arizona. Hello, Sharon.
Never been in Arizona.
No. We need to do some traveling, we think.
I've been in New Mexico, but never in Arizona.
I've been in New Mexico a couple times. Ashley, hey, brother, how you doing?
Yeah.
Glad you made it in, bud.
You showed back up.
We were afraid.
What's that say about you?
We were afraid we run you off last week. Poor guy. Called him a girl and all kinds of things.
Yeah. That's the guys. This YouTube thing kind of crazy. Years ago, I was watching Idaho Hillbilly, and I don't know if you guys have ever watched it. I kind of was one of the first channels I ever watched much of. But anyhow, I was watching some of that, and my daughter said we should do a YouTube channel.
No.
And then she suggested it again, and her mama listened.
Yeah.
Several years later.
There's a whole big thing whenever your kids are calling you, Mama, how do I do this? Mama, I'm homesick. Can you show me something? And it just got overwhelming. And I was so we were brainstorming, and I finally just said, okay, I don't know how to do this. So you guys got to tell me, how do I make videos and share them that you can see them? because it was getting difficult. The videos would be too big to go through their, through Messenger or through text
Actually,
messaging
what's
or
the
whatever.
weather like there in jolly old England, in the UK?
In the UK. Now watch, he won't be English. He'll be like from Wales or something. Which I know it's all on the same island, but yeah. So Cargills are from Scotland originally, way back in the 1700s. They were troublemakers in the 16 and 1700s and got kicked out. Can you imagine them being troublemakers?
See y'all, 6 acres. It's
See ya,
good to hear
6.
from you tonight.
Thanks for coming. Microclimates, yes.
I'm sure
they do. I'm
Just
sure
like
they
we
do.
do.
Yeah.
I know that England's a lot smaller than
yes.
The United States, but still, just climates everywhere.
Well, and it's crazy. Like every state we've lived in has had a very diverse microclimates. Oklahoma has several, and the terrains. You have everything. You have swamp, you have mountains, you have desert. Down to the big, huge sand dunes, grasslands, prairie, cross timbers. You have it all, and except for oceanfront property, there are some big lakes.
I don't know.
Bye, M&B. See ya, MB Heritage. Thank you for coming by.
And eat some supper for me too.
Yeah. He's not from Wales. He's not from Wales, and it's cold. Well, that'd be like saying we're Texans. That's a dirty word. No, I'm kidding.
So, give me an idea what's cold. Because I know there's people south of me, like Texans, that think 32 is cold.
Yeah.
But I've fed cattle in 47 below. That's Fahrenheit. So, actually, tell me what kind of cold, even if you tell me in Celsius, maybe I can figure it out.
We can convert it on the phone if we have to. Drops has a brother and sister-in-law in northern England.
Missouri's weather is bipolar.
Yes.
I agree.
So is Kansas.
All of this area, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, yeah.
You get in the Midwest and you got bipolar weather. That is for sure.
No doubt. I saw on Groundhog Day, I saw a deal and it had groundhog and it said, I saw my shadow 6 more weeks of winter. Except for you, Kansas, your weather does its own thing.
And I bet that got modified to many states. Missouri, and Nebraska. Lots of them. Oh, we've been on here an hour, y'all.
Wow.
We're an hour and 2 minutes in.
So.
Yeah, I read that one. So I don't know, y'all. I guess we're waiting on Ashley if he's to give us temp.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to know. I'm just interested in what the weather's. It's cold right now, and I know you guys are kind of the same hemisphere.
Yeah, so they'll be in the winter.
So that's your winter, just like we are. And all the stuff you see about it always looks like it's kind of overcast a lot there.
Wow, Drops, that's awesome to know. I didn't realize they were that warm. 7 to 10 grow zones. That's really warm.
Yeah. Okay.
-2. That's cold.
-2 centigrade.
Okay.
That is cold for here. Okay. On the south coast of the UK, up over to France. Okay. Kind of got an idea where you're at. That's cool.
So
same back time, same back channel, Kansas Midfit.
Yeah. We will be we'll be on at 4. We have a dinner date next week at 6, so we'll be on at 4 and we'll jump off at 5 Central Standard Time.
And you may find us bouncing back and forth between starting at 4 and starting at 5. Guys, it's crazy for us to try to drive to a building and sit down and do this. So. Yeah. Okay.
So it's 28 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's cold. Especially if you've got any moisture or wind. Yeah.
Yeah. Between 28 and 29 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's cool. So Ashley, when will you be able to start like planting? When is your last frost date in it typically? We got a lot of good answers on the whether you choose garden or chickens if you had to choose tonight.
we
That
did.
was really cool.
Drop says that if that if the warm current that ever shut down, they'd be zone 3 to 5.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Marsha. We love you too. God bless. Last frost date is mid-March.
Okay, you're
That's
just
a little ahead of
earlier.
us. Yeah,
that's 7.
That's 7-ish. Yep.
7 to 5 zone. Okay, or 7 to 10. Yeah,
yeah, that'd be
zone.
7 to 8 zone. Yep.
That's cool.
Cool.
All right.
Because we were zone 6B, I think, in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Thank you, RSJ. Bless you.
See y'all later.
See ya. Remember that show day after tomorrow. Okay. Day after tomorrow, the show. Yes. Hello, Micro Farmer. Micro, I'm so sorry you're coming in and we're going out, dude. So sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna shut this down in a few minutes. But good to see you. Glad you came in.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on for just a minute so you can say hi to everybody, and let you out. Oh, thanks, Micro. So I did catch you on a couple lives just for a minute or two this week. You got some great information, bud. If you guys have not checked out his channel, go over there and check him out. Check out Drops. Check out Ashley. I'm really excited to watch some more of Ashley's videos, since it is just a whole different ball of wax to growing out there.
You know, when I watch stuff from the UK, and I find some stuff very interesting from the UK, but that's a different world, guys. And I know that some of y'all just think that. I'm sure that if we were to go to Spokane, Washington, it'd be
a whole different world.
Although I think there's a lot of cattle in that part of Washington, and I'm all about the cattle industry. But
thank you, Drops, for listing those channels. Yeah, and
awesome. Good job.
Yes, thank you, Drops. And there's also Kansas Misfit, and
she doesn't have a lot of videos.
No, but she's
very
Catherine. Old Redding Farms was here. Catherine was here earlier and had to step out, but go check them out. Tons of cattle. So are we. We are cattle central here. Yeah, we got some snow, Micro Farmer. We got a lot of, we did not get a lot of snow. We got some snow, and it's bitter cold here. I'm sure you're cold too.
Yeah, it warmed up quite a bit today. Got up to 13.
Drops is wanting to move to Texas or Missouri.
Yeah, I would suggest Missouri.
I would too. Yeah, our Texas buddies out of here. Now Western Texas wouldn't be as bad except for the water issue.
There's just too many people in East Texas.
There's a lot of people in Texas.
Missouri's getting kind of crowded too.
Missouri's getting crowded.
Missouri, I just really like the Ozarks and the hills and the streams. And
now we're coming from a Western mindset, a rural Western mindset, where our towns that are near us, are the one that we're nearest right now. Town is 800, and our big town where we go shopping.
I'm going to tell you that our county is 797,000 acres. Is our county,
with a population of just over 5,000 people.
Yes,
and a couple million cattle.
Yeah, and so sometimes this county gets too crowded.
Yeah, with cattle. Yes, Jake, property taxes are very high in Texas.
You just want a homestead. I understand.
I gotcha, Ashley. You grow what you can grow and take care of yourself. That sounds good.
Surrounded by tons of cattle looking.
Yes, Drops. I remember that you moved up to take care of your folks, and they passed away. So you're going to move now. Thank you for doing that.
I hope you find a good place.
Yes, I do too. And let us know when you settle. And we're over in Missouri quite a bit. Yes. So let us know when you settle, and we'll try to get together. you're going to go off grid. That's a good place to go off grid.
Yeah, Missouri
And
is pretty good for that.
Drops, I'm going to be a little bit, consider southeast Kansas, a little bit more south and east of us, down in the corner. There's more water, and you get into the Ozarks still. So,
Yeah,
and the land's fairly cheap.
I think Kansas is way underrated for homesteading.
Yes,
There's a
yes.
lot of, man, Kansas is a good place to homestead.
Yeah.
There's, for one thing, there's lots of resources here because this is an agriculture state, and so there's lots of resources. Sometimes it's hard to find smaller plots of land, but when you do, land's not terribly expensive, especially in our part of Kansas. You get close to some of the big cities, it's a different story. But you know, in southeast Kansas, there's some really good places to be in southeast Kansas. There's some good colleges there, Pitt State and things like that, and you know, it's kind of a good place to be. So if you're considering southwest Missouri, you might as well consider southeast Kansas while you're looking to.
Ashley's mom's family was farmers. Cool. Yeah. My great grandfather actually on the census has his was listed as farmer. He was a farmer and he drilled water wells. And yeah. My dad's cattle.
No income tax.
Yeah. No income tax though in Texas? I don't know. Well, there wasn't in Wyoming when we were there. There wasn't income tax
No
either.
state income tax, no.
Yeah, no state income tax. No state, yeah. Drop's family was father's family was a rancher and mom's family was farmers. Cool. My dad would be more, I mean, my dad is small time rancher, and they call it farming in Oklahoma is what it would have been called. So, you know, I think now he's taken his herd down a little bit, but the largest he had over 150, but less than 200 mama cows.
Pairs, yeah.
At one time, but he's gone down. He's retired. You know, he only drills the wells half the day and checks his oil wells, and yeah, and then he has his cattle that he takes care of.
Large family garden, yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, we grew one probably till right before my granny passed. And my mom, I guess she did grow after, a few years after, but just her job got to where she just couldn't keep up, and we were too scattered and didn't do a very good job. But none of us really had the passion. I wish I did then as I do now. I know a whole lot more now. Cool. Yeah. Oh, wow. We've been on here an hour and 12 minutes. I think we better go. Thanks, guys. We'll be back next week. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We'll be here at 4 Central Time, and we'll see you live the following week. I guess it'll be a couple weeks. Will be iffy.
Shared your video.
Oh, thanks,
Cool.
Drops, for sharing our video. That's awesome. Good night, everybody. Good night, Drops. Good night, Ashley. It's covered up. The notification covered up my. There it is. Okay. Good night, everybody. Take care. God bless.
Yeah, and I want y'all to know that hopefully you can watch our videos this week, but I want y'all to know that God made you special and loves you very much. So we'll see y'all later.
See you later. Thanks, Sharon, for coming in. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.